Hey, home fries. I am so excited. This is probably like my 10th, 11th day of having any YouTube videos up. If even that, I don't know. It's really recent. Today is the 9th of September. It's Friday. It's a little bit after 12 noon. And I just started my YouTube channel a week ago Sunday, and I didn't get any videos up for a couple of days. So I've already had cumulatively, if I can even speak, 20,000 views. And for that, I am so grateful. Thank you. Don't forget to hit the like button, share, make a comment. Please subscribe. None of those things cost you a dime. It costs you a moment of your time, and it helps the channel grow tremendously. And I have a lot of faith in YouTube and content that this is what's helping Kylie's case push along further, hopefully. There's a lot of crap out there. There's a lot of BS, and you know, each of us individually has to sort out what we believe and what we identify as crap and, you know, make some good decisions, and hopefully law enforcement will do the same. So a quick outline of what I want to talk about today. First, I want to talk about Upchurch, tickling the wire. I want to talk abuse of power. I want to talk the last people to see the victim. And when I say victim, I mean victim of death. We've yet to see what exactly she's a victim of. And then I want to talk about her most recent ex-boyfriend and the date of birth on the official record for Kylie. It could be incorrect, and if it is, that'll screw up everything. I'm going to do a little demonstration with a bunny rabbit, with a stuffed bunny rabbit, don't worry, no cruelty to animals here, of what a car could do when rolling into the water, okay? And the 2 months that they are wanting to give themselves to do this autopsy report is too long. They can take as long as they want with the official report of the case, if that's what they're talking about. But 6 weeks is your absolute max on autopsies. And the 6 weeks is mostly due to a backlog and toxicology, okay? So there's absolutely no reason for that, unless they just need to give themselves more time because they need to, you know, give themselves more time. I don't want to accuse anybody of anything. But I also don't want to be a nutty bunny and skip right over some of what is the most obvious, okay? People need to know that 6 weeks from the day she was discovered and recovered, that would be the 22nd of August, so the end of the first week of October would be the latest that an autopsy result, the official report, should be. You know, I say should because sure, if you have wildfires in your actual county, or you're helping in a neighboring county, or you had COVID and nobody's coming to work, you know, those things will back it up. But you can't use those as excuses if they're not actually true. Misrepresentation of the truth is not okay, no matter who you are. I said it yesterday. Law enforcement is not above the law. They are the law. They can take advantage of that. Anybody who takes advantage of that and abuses their power has no business carrying a gun and a badge. No business whatsoever. It's dangerous for everybody. Okay, so let's get into it. So the FBI, I've never heard this term until yesterday with people talking on these discussions, and Ryan Upchurch talking on these discussions about what he's been doing to stir the pot, to get the criminals to come out of the woodwork and expose themselves. And it's an old FBI tactic called, you've probably heard it in the last 12 hours, tickling the wire. So you can Google that. What it means is when you have a wiretap on some criminals and they're not talking about the crimes that you want them to be talking about, you have to play some tricks. You have to be a trickster. You got to play dirty when you're playing with criminals. You cannot be, superior, you're never going to get anywhere. That's why the criminals can get ahead, is because other people are trying to live decent, ethical lives, right? So tickling the wire is what Upchurch has been doing, and it has been massively successful, in my opinion. He's gotten the case to get a lot more attention with his 3 million plus followers, and everybody else, including myself, who talks about him, good or bad, getting more attention too, because anything where you mention his name, you're going to get more views, right? So, power is addictive. We've all heard that, right? It's like a drug. It's like an aphrodisiac. And it's true. And a lot of politicians and people in positions of power, abuse that power, and they're addicted to that power. And it's like they're junkies. They're out of control. They are desperate. They'll do anything for their next high, right? Think about that. And then think about the fact that the local law enforcement's children, or maybe one child, at least one that we know of, local law enforcement's children were at this quote-unquote party. And then we all know that a prominent lawyer's child was at this party, prominent private investigator's child was at this party. The people who have had the last contact with any missing or deceased person are all going to be suspects. And all of their accounts are going to be some of the most vital clues that you have to go off of, especially early in the investigation, but even later in the investigation. So that includes sightings, communication, texts, phone calls, anything. So that's where you start and that's where you finish, is with the last people to have witnessed this individual while alive that will admit to it. And this makes all of the partygoers potential suspects, every single one of them. There's no reason to sugarcoat that. If you're interrogating them, sure, you want to sugarcoat it so that they'll allow you to interrogate them. But let's talk about Kylie's most recent boyfriend, okay? Most recent ex-boyfriend. I had said yesterday that maybe that's more significant than I had thought initially. I thought teenagers, on again, off again, it's just part of life. Might be more significant than that. I mentioned it in 2 previous videos that in a relationship that has a tendency towards domestic violence, that the breaking up is the most dangerous point in time for a person trying to get out of that relationship. So, her ex-boyfriend is going to be in a tremendous amount of pain, whether he was involved, has any knowledge, or is 100% innocent. He's going to be suffering. And we all know that Jay, I don't want to use names, I just want to use initials, out of respect for these individuals. We all know that he's been in a lot of pain. He's been making that public. Zav girl exposed yesterday something that she had found out from someone else exposing it, that he was arrested for drunk driving on August 24th, 2 days after Kylie's remains were recovered on August 22nd. I believe his charges are technically on August 30th. But, he's 18, underage drinking. So, blood alcohol content, I think, was 0.01 or something like that. I don't know. Whatever it was, any amount of alcohol, he's underage, right? So now, allegedly, he's in a psychiatric facility, which doesn't surprise me in the least for 2 reasons. The emotional pain, of course, but also sometimes criminals try to hide in hospitals with the HIPAA law. They think that confidentiality is going to protect them from law enforcement. And technically it cannot do that. But if you're connected, that might be able to. So, you know, how would Jay know if Kylie was in a drunk driving accident herself? Unless he was there or spoke with people that were there present when it actually occurred, not just at some point in time that night, but saw it with their own eyes. Everything else is speculation. And how would he know that there was absolutely no foul play unless he was there and witnessed everything go down up close himself with his own cousins? Little upchurch joke there if you didn't get it. Okay, so Kylie's date of birth has been misrepresented numerous times that I've seen as September 1st, 2006. That would make her 16 as of a week ago, 8 days ago. We all know that's not accurate. She was already 16. She just would have turned 17. Sadly, girl didn't make it to her favorite number. So her actual birthday should be documented and corrected on every single document as September 1st, 2005. If that doesn't get corrected, they can do whatever they want. Whatever they want. It's incorrect birthday. Oh, well, you know, lost in the shuffle. Red tape, technical error, whatever. No, we're not having it. So let's talk about the car, all right? And the last reported sighting of her. Here's my little prop for my car. Da-da-da-da. Sorry. Wonder Woman bunny rabbit. Do you see that? So cute. Little keychain. Love it. Okay. So the last reported sighting of Kylie was given by a girl we'll call E. And she has said 3 different times that have been documented that she saw her at midnight. She fell into a hole. They helped her get out, offered her a ride home. She said, I got this. She said it was 12:30. And she said it was 1 o'clock. I understand getting confused about time, especially when you're partying, but, you know, the timeline is, again, one of the most important elements in any investigation, especially in a deceased individual's investigation, and especially those moments leading right up into the tragedy, whatever that tragedy is, be it a terrible singular car accident involving only one person, or be it something far more nefarious than that. So here's our bunny rabbit, right? We're all talking about the car going in the water. The ears are the front of the car. If somebody was driving in the water, the car got pushed into the water like this, we all know it's going to turn over. And then the nose is going to be pointing towards the shore. And then when law enforcement carefully rolls it over after sealing the windows and after taking a lot of photographs and videotape of everything in there, especially your victim, then you turn it over, and if you're pulling it out, it's going to come out nose first, okay? That's pretty simple. If your car goes down tail first, it is in reverse, person's driving or sliding, it's getting pushed, whatever, it's still going to go sinking like the Titanic, nose first, butt in the air, because of the weight of the engine. Okay, that's very clear. And then it's going to turn over, and then when the law enforcement rolls it over, again, super carefully, after they've documented every piece of evidence exactly how it was when they found it, and after they've sealed those windows, they're going to turn that vehicle over, which is going to break that light, that rearview mirror light, or mirror, and get those dents in the door and break that glass on the driver's side. Then they're going to pull it up out of the water, and it's going to be tail end first, the way Kylie's car was pulled up out of the water. So she very well might have gone in there rear first. We'll see. We'll see what they come up with in the report in forever and a day, okay? Again, they can take forever and a day. That's their prerogative. But they cannot lie, cheat, or steal to the public. They can lie, cheat, and steal with the criminals while they're trying to get their information, because a lot of times, we all know, law enforcement or anybody has to lie, cheat, and steal to get what they need to get. You know, that's one of the trickiest things about being in law enforcement and people trusting law enforcement. Again, you know, sometimes you got to do shady stuff for the greater good. Getting back to Ryan Upchurch, you know, he was pretty flippant with his whole Kylie doesn't exist, her family's fake, all that junk. I heard that as him fibbing from the get-go. I'd never heard that phrase tickling the wire, but I knew that that's what he was doing. I thought I knew that that's what he was doing. And in interviews that he's been doing currently in the last 24 hours, he's saying that that's what he was doing. And that's still what he's doing. So again, just keeping this case current and active and in the public eye is how we can protect Kylie from any further abuse than she's already suffered. On that, thank you. God bless. Hit that like button. I'd love to read your comment. I try to respond to every single one of them. And see you on the next video. Thanks again. Have a great day. Take care of yourself. Take care of everyone around you. And enjoy the weekend.